everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today you guys may be wondering why I look like such a mess and why I'm in my pajamas, and that's because Bradley University has no classes today because it is -17 and feels like -40 degrees today. Fair enough. While I'm stuck here in my room all day, I might as well share what I learned in my first semester of college with all of you. Popping in to just give another disclaimer about another one of my videos. I sound really stuttered and disconnected in this video just because I was trying to collect my thoughts and sort of just record it freely as I went along. So just a warning about that, but I did try and stop saying the word so as often as I normally do. So let's hope it goes well. If you didn't already know, I go to Bradley University and I'm a music business major with a minor in entrepreneurship and innovation, which I know is a mouthful, but I have really enjoyed my first semester of college. It went surprisingly smooth and I'm super excited to start this second semester. Starting off, I think one of the first things I learned here at school is that it's okay to feel lonely or homesick. You aren't alone in feeling that, and you are not the only one that's going somewhere completely out of your comfort zone where you may know nobody and you just really don't know what to do. I surprisingly really don't get homesick. I was more just missing some parts of home. I wasn't feeling anxious though. I really didn't have a meltdown, but there were nights where sometimes life just sucks and you have to get a good cry out. It happens every once in a while, and that will continue to happen probably throughout my whole life. So I just dealt with those nights with a grain of salt, had my cry, went to bed, and just started the new day fresh, because that's all you can do. Everybody's gonna be homesick, everybody's gonna feel a little lonely, and that's okay. It's a new thing that we have to learn to be independent and by ourselves, because that's how we're gonna be most of our life. If you wanna achieve something, you really have to figure out who you are and spend time learning yourself, learning about yourself, so that you can go and do what works best for you and what you really love. The hardest part about being away from home for me was probably not having Lucy. As you all know, I'm very close to her, and it's really hard just not to have her company, considering I'm a very independent person, so I like to have my time alone, but I just need company. I just need to know that somebody's there, not necessarily be talking or constantly interacting with, just knowing that somebody's there with me. And the second thing that was hard for me was not having my parents to talk to every day. Starting around halfway through my junior year in high school, I became really comfortable with talking to my parents and just telling them about my day, how I'm feeling. And it's a way for me to sort of deal with my anxiety and stress, is to just get it out of my mind and onto somebody, and they have been two people that I know I can always turn to that will either try and help me through it or just be there to listen. So not having them in person was really hard for me, but phone calls, texting, FaceTime has really helped, and I'm sure my parents love my almost daily phone calls to tell them about random little things that happen in my life. Probably the second thing that I learned was that you don't have to go out and do a bunch of stuff to make friends. So I started out with, my first week was welcome week, so we had a ton of activities that was actually super fun to go out and just see the campus, see different clubs, and just get to know people that you're going to school with. And as much as I loved welcome week and all the cool activities, it was tiring, and some days I just didn't want to go. So I didn't. I stayed in my dorm and I stayed on my floor and I talked with the people on my floor, and most of them are my really close friends now, just because we hung out and got to know each other a little bit better because we're living with each other for a full year. So you have to get to know them and have to at least be acquainted with them to sort of live cohesively. At the same time though, do not be afraid to go and talk to people. Like I said, everybody's here mainly alone, not knowing many people, if anyone at all. So just go out and start a conversation with somebody. If it seems like you guys are really connecting and you could be good friends, that's awesome. But if it seems like you aren't, then who cares? You don't have to be friends with them. That's the whole point. You get to choose your friends. It's not like they're laid out for you years in advance, like going into high school, having friends from elementary school. This is a fresh start. So go ahead and make friends with who you want to, and don't be afraid to talk to them. That's the first step, and trust me, once you get over that, everything will be smooth sailing.
So basically what I mean is talk when you feel comfortable and don't talk when you don't.
Obviously, right after welcome week, you start into classes. Being a music major, on Mondays I had 5 classes, and Wednesday I had 6, whereas other days I had about 3 to 4, which tends to be a lot more than others. But I actually really enjoyed that because I like to keep busy and keep going, so I figured out that I had to get into a routine. I'm sure everybody has had a routine at some point in their life, probably through high school, definitely during the school day in high school, but probably before and after school too, like your morning routine, what you do right after school, and then leading up to going to bed. The same applies to college, except in college you have a lot more time in between classes, and in those time periods, you have freedom. You're independent. You have to figure out what to do best with your time, and so that's why getting into a routine is really effective. In the mornings, I knew exactly what time I had to wake up to shower, to eat, and to go to class. I knew how much time I had in between classes, whether I could take a nap, or do my homework, or go somewhere else to study. This really helped me with my time management, and also being happier because I knew what I was supposed to be doing, and it sort of left my brain from having to wander and figure out what to do and be put on the spot, and overall it just helped my semester run really smoothly. For those of you that don't know, the first week of classes is normally called syllabus week because every single class will give out a syllabus, outline the class, and go from there. This week is super important because this is what sets you up for the rest of your semester. Most professors are really, really good at giving you a perfect time schedule of what classes you're going to have, what they're about, what content you're going over, what assignments are being assigned, and when they're due. This is extremely crucial in helping your time management, and I personally love it. So as I get each syllabus during the week, with different highlighters, I highlight what assignments are being assigned, when I have big exams, and when I have no class. And then I go back and put it into my planner or calendar, and this helps me just see a scope of the semester and sort of plan and know when I have to get what done. This helps me a lot when I'm sitting in my room at 8 o'clock at night not knowing what to do, and I can look ahead at the next week and say, hey, maybe I can get ahead on some reading because I'm bored or I don't know what to do, and I know my weekend's going to be super packed. So this is super, super helpful in sort of getting into that routine and helping you with time management because it's something new that all of us are going to experience. Also, syllabus week is the time to introduce yourself to your teachers. I always do this. I take at least 2 minutes after class, not even, to just go up to the professor, tell them who I am, and just tell them I'm super excited for the class and that to let me know if there's anything I can do. I also tell them that I'm diabetic just so they know in case I'm beeping or I have to leave the room for any emergency, and it's helped me a lot. All of my professors just want to see me succeed, and letting them know who you are sort of calms my nerves, and just knowing if I have a problem, I feel much more comfortable going up to them because they've seen my face before. They know that I'm willing to reach out and help and work for my grade, and that's really, really helpful in college. You're independent. Your teachers are not going to baby you, but if you reach out, they're going to do whatever they can in their power to get you to be successful. That's the one great thing about college. Everybody wants to see you oh my God. Everybody wants to see you succeed. So reaching out is a simple step that can really boost your confidence and help you to succeed a little bit more than any other student. Along with getting into a routine and just having all your classes, time management, you still need to take time for yourself. This is a big lesson that I learned, and I was actually pretty good with it in high school. But going into college is completely different. Like I said, you have a lot more time in between classes. You have a ton of time on the weekends if you don't have a car like I don't. I spend a lot of my time in my room. So what I do is just take time to myself. Take a half hour here or there watching YouTube or Netflix or Hulu, take a nap if I'm really tired. There's no way I'm going to be able to go to a class if I can't stay awake. So might as well take the time to myself and catch up on work later. I understand that if you're sharing a room with somebody, it's hard to take time to yourself. But just talk to your roommate if you need to. Say, hey, is there any way I could have the room for a little bit by myself? And if that's not going to work, go to the library. Go to your favorite study space or favorite hangout space. Put in some headphones and just relax. Set up some good playlists, one for studying, one for relaxing, one for walking to classes. Just take time to really treat yourself, because there's no other way you're going to be able to work effectively if you don't balance your school with yourself. And that sort of works for anything you're talking about, whether that's work, school, or any other activities you're involved in. You need to balance that out with time for yourself, or else you're going to go insane. So what I would suggest is just after the first week of class, sort of figure out what you can do in which time period. And if you're having a really bad day, take some more time to yourself. You're going to be able to catch up. If you feel really bad, go to the health center and see what they can do. Go talk to student services if you're feeling anxious or depressed or something. They can help you match up with a counselor, but they can also help you possibly get accommodations with your classes. So if you have days constantly that are like that, you can contact your teachers and it'll be approved because it's your accommodations. So that's something I would also take advantage of, along with just taking time to yourself. And finally, one of the weirdest but also biggest things I noticed is that college is very similar to high school. You're in a routine. You're in classes. Most of the teachers are starting to give you more independence in high school, and it only gets more independent into college, but they still want to see you succeed. You're still trying to graduate. You can have different groups of friends from different clubs you're in, different activities you're in, different classes, but also your floor mates, which is just like at home and in high school. And that was something really soothing to me. College was a big step for me, especially with my diabetes, being alone, and just knowing that my school was a lot like my high school made me feel a lot more comfortable. There wasn't this big transition for me from college into high school other than living alone. That's about the only difference. The classes, the teachers, everything has been almost completely the same, and it has helped me a lot. Now, I know that may not be the case for everybody, but that has been for me here at a smaller school. And I personally love it. And I think that anybody can find that high school is a lot like college at their school if they treat their time right. I know that a lot of people go out and party, and, it's just up to you what you want to do with it, but you can find yourself in that successful route if you really, really want to. And I know it's really hard to be without your parents and without people urging you to do stuff, but you need to find that urge from within yourself to push yourself to go and do what is expected of you. And more importantly, to go and take these classes so that you can excel and go out and live your dream, basically. Go do your dream job. Figure out what you want to do. Be the best you possible. All in all, I've really enjoyed my first semester, and I'm actually on my second week of second semester, and I'm already enjoying it as well. It went really well for me, and I'm hoping that the next 3 years will be the same. I have high expectations, and I'm going to push myself to meet those expectations, as everybody should out there. Because if you're going to school and you're going to pay this much, you might as well be doing the best you can do. So, thank you all for watching. If you want to see more college tips, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer anything. I can also answer more questions about Bradley if you really want to know more. I love it, by the way, if you couldn't tell. And just let me know what you guys want to see. I will be doing a college day in my life and a dorm tour if you're more interested in college stuff and just to see how my life is at college, so don't worry about that, but any other types of content you'd like to see, please let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.